fantasy fans, let's talk about the San Francisco 49ers, a team in NFL history, I don't know, that's had a more tumultuous offseason. But from a fantasy perspective, do they still do or not do what they did last year? And we'll start with Colin Kaepernick.
I worry about Kaepernick. I like that he worked out with our boy Kurt Warner during the offseason, working on his accuracy. There's been some good reports coming out of training camp, but I just don't envision a scenario where he returns to being a QB1. I would draft him somewhere late. I'm looking at the 10th round, somewhere in that area, maybe the 11th round as a QB2. But I've lost a little faith in Kaepernick. He needs to run the ball more for me to really like him in fantasy.
The biggest thing for me that worries me is that last year, Colin Kaepernick, I mean, for a dude that's fast, he got sacked a lot. Like, the only person who got sacked more was Blake Bortles, and now the Niners have even more questions along that offensive line, so that does not bode well for him this year.
It may force him to run.
It could.
Let's talk about Carlos Hyde. Adam Rank, a gentleman you call Los Hyde.
Los Hyde. I try to make that stick. It's not quite winning just yet. We'll get there. Los Hyde, I like it. I think it's a cool nickname. I want to like him. I really want to, draft him and everything like that. I just don't like the situation in San Francisco. As Marcus just said, there's some issues on the offensive line. And then you have the whole notion of this team might not be very good. And if you're not very good, you're going to be playing from behind in a lot of ball games, and that will not afford you an opportunity to run the ball, to salt away victories, and do things of that nature. So they could find themselves behind in a lot of games, turning to Reggie Bush as a pass receiver, as a running back, and that means not as many points for Los Hyde.
But
a cool nickname.
Yeah, is it? Okay. How do you see Reggie Bush's fantasy value impacting Carlos Hyde?
Well, it's a PPR league sort of thing here with Reggie Bush, because I don't think he's going to take early down work or goal line work from Hyde. He is a guy who you're going to draft in PPR leagues, probably, I would say, in the 8th, 9th round, somewhere in that area. In standard leagues, he's not going to go until much later.
His value, you talk about Carlos Hyde, has slipped. I mean, in mock drafts earlier in the offseason, he was going 2nd round. Now we're seeing him slide down 5th, 6th, 7th round.
It's the offensive line.
It's a very good
Mike
point.
Ipati, and then Davis retires. I mean, that's tough.
Let's talk about Vernon Davis, a tight end finally on fantasy here. Does he bounce back? He had a great week 1, and then the rest of the year, oh my goodness, did absolutely nothing.
Wait, he played? I like Vernon Davis this year. I do think he bounces back. Watching him on tape in the offseason, you saw a lot of drops, which is uncharacteristic for him. You didn't see a lot of yards after the catch, and part of it was probably because he was banged up most of the year.
Yeah.
If he's healthy, he gets more targets, he eliminates the drops. I think he has a really good year.
Adam Wright?
Yeah, if Kaepernick has to throw the ball 50 times a game, which I kind of anticipate, it's going to spread its way around to somebody. And to me, even with that group of pass catchers, he's the #1 guy.
All right, that's our 49ers fantasy preview. Be sure to sign up for free right now. Fantasy football on NFL.com/fantasy.